Jerry Trezak, and both Gene and I have been parishioners at St. Anthony's since 2003. We moved from Kingwood, but we were originally transplants from Chicago decades ago. Gene and I have both been very active as sponsor couples and been at St. Anthony's, as well as shepherding the sponsor couples now for several years. Of course, the Horizon campaign, have been involved in Acts, Faith in the Fire, any number of ministries that have gone on here, as well as the Colby Prison Ministry. Both myself and Gene went to a retreat down at the Catholic Charismatic Center in Houston. That was back in 2009. And Father Carlos was there. He was part of the clergy team that was facilitating that. And he ended up being my confessor at that time, at that retreat. I believe I've had interactions with Father Carlos just one other time in those 11 years, other than most recently, yes. It really started with when we were blessed to be asked to be co-chairs for the Horizon campaign. We went over to the Adoration Chapel and we just surrendered it all to the Lord, right? He is in charge. We just gave it to Him. Things moved along great. That launched, you know, we had the food trucks and everything else, all the gorgeous artwork in the piazza. And then COVID hit. It came to a screeching halt. So fast forward five and a half months later, we are really called to relaunch the campaign. We need to do this. Back to the chapel, praying and something that we do with regularity, and always being surrounded by our existing relics that are there. So we're there in adoration, all of us, lifting it up to the Lord. And at that time, the Lord spoke to me and said, Jerry, you've given it to me. Please utilize your resources, the saints that are here, and we will move forward on this relaunch. And we were called at that point to really focus in on a reliquary, utilizing the existing saints that we have here, the amazing 7 that we have, and then seeing if we couldn't add a few to that number and build a reliquary in the new Our Lady of Angels Chapel, and where pilgrims of all ages can come and set up a personal, intimate relationship with each and every one of these saints. I said, you know, the Lord told me that 11 years ago I put a priest in your path that can help you. And it just so happens that that priest in the 11 years has become quite famous in his own world for working with the Holy See and working with relics, not only on a national but on a global level. That would be Father Carlos. So I called Father Carlos and I humbly asked, could you help us learn how to best obtain some saints and get direction on that? And he said, sure, I'd be happy to. And he said, how many are you looking for? And I said, well, we'd be so blessed to get 2 or 3, but we'd appreciate anything that you could do. And he said, okay, I'll get back to you. So about a week goes by, and then I get an email with an attachment from Father Carlos, and I'm figuring that that attachment is going to be my directions or our directions on how you go about what's the process for doing this. I opened it up, and we are being gifted by Father Carlos 20 amazing relics, and I mean just amazing relics. I couldn't be more excited. Whether you're talking church fathers, whether you're talking newer saints, anything in between, we have just been so abundantly blessed. I believe the impact will be immeasurable. First thing I can say is Jesus will be very happy and will be smiling, as well as our mother, for doing what it is that we're doing as a parish and a community and building the chapel, and also the reliquary to be there. I think that's key. But what a great opportunity for the kids in the school to establish a one-on-one relationship. You know, I mentioned a number of times pilgrimages. Now, we may have somebody from Rochester, New York coming down, but it may also be one of the classes, right, of the first graders and their teacher coming over for a day or a week or an hour, whatever that might look like, to learn more about the saints, maybe to set up a special relationship. We have no idea what our Lord is going to do. But I really feel deep down that we are going to have a number of folks come visit the chapel. And when you've got the Lord smiling, the Blessed Mother smiling, 27 saints elated, I don't believe we'll be able to count the graces and blessings and gifts that are going to rain down upon our community. We all have our challenges during the course of our life. We all have our crosses. It is our Lord who have given us these resources, these gifts in these saints. But these saints that are coming, these relics, the patronage and the different things that these saints represent in different areas of focus, whether it's disease or culture, whatever it may be, it covers the whole spectrum. There's something within these saints, this little body of saints, or large body of saints that we have for everyone.